Hi, live trade following on from the morning call. Let's see how we get on. Hi, welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Langers and I am the Scruffy Trader. And what I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world, show you a little bit about what I do for a living, and hopefully show you something along the way. Now, I also do morning calls and then I trade it, and that's exactly what I'm doing today. So this morning I called out the Euro New Zealand dollar, and it was done past 7, 7:45ish this morning, and posted up at 8 o'clock just so some of the guys in the squad can see it. And now I'm trading it, and I'm also carrying on from yesterday where I was doing the pound yen. Now, we did okay with it. There was a couple of positions held overnight, went pretty close to stop, but didn't stop me out. We're still at it. Oh, and here's the angel in the morning. My beautiful wife, Winky, supplier of coffee. Why did I get a coffee?
You always want a coffee?
Well, I do, but normally I have to dig you in the ribs. Why did I get one today?
Preempting it.
Preempting it. That could be dangerous. Is it nearly the end of the month? I believe it could well be. Oh no, I better get my stress ball out. And for those of you who haven't been here before, I am an aging child. I have a wicked sense of humour, which is very childlike, and I love my toys. But I need them while I'm trading, and I also need them because if it's the end of the month and she's getting me a coffee, because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee, that means her credit card bill's due in. Is it going to be bad? Oi.
I don't want anything.
I take it the silence means yes. Better earn some money then, Ben. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run the trades and I'll come back to it at the end. I'm going to jump on the whiteboard and I'm going to tell you exactly what my job is, because a lot of people do ask that. They say, what is your job? Well, I trade, but that is not what my job is. I'll show you it on the other side. answer a question that was given to me from Donald of South Africa, of all places. Fantastic how far the world spreads. And also, just before I move to the question, a couple of shout outs to some people who are supporting the channel. Nick R and Ellen Mills. I genuinely thank you. Donald's question was, what is my job? And I've kind of touched on this before, but the way I look at a trader's job might be slightly different to how some other people look at it. You see, the perception is that your job is just being a flash git, driving your Lamborghini on the land of make-believe, or what you guys call Instagram. Well, I'll leave it to these.
You ding-dong!
Me, I'm just a guy who sits in a chair and terrorizes his wife till she makes him a coffee and hopefully earn a living out of it. But I do have a job, and it is in two categories. My first job is being a risk manager. And that is number one. That is my number one job. I manage risk. I don't trade. I know that sounds odd, but that is exactly what I do. And managing risk does not mean just putting a tight stop loss in. What it means is reading the chart, understanding the movement of the instrument that I'm looking at, and entering a trade that I have a higher than average chance of success. That limits the risk. I've done my homework and I get rewarded. Whereas if I just put a stop loss in willy-nilly, I am at risk. I have not managed the risk. I hope that kind of makes sense. And the second part of my job is very simple. And I use tools to do that job, just like these. And these will come into play in just a second. Because my job is to go from 0 on a morning to +1 at the end of the day. That is it. And I know you're going to look at that and go, I don't understand. Well, let's explore. So I'll just get rid of this so that I can see what it is I'm saying. There we go. So earlier on, I showed you a hammer and a screwdriver. And they're the tools of the trade for any builder. Now, as a trader, we use tools also. Except our tools is money. And the idea is to turn a small amount into a larger amount. Simple as that. You know, it's not rocket science. So my job each day is to start with 0, have an equity curve, and end with +1. That is it. Now, the money that I've used to start this process is just a tool. That is it. So it doesn't matter if I go into a minus at all. Yes, I want the pluses, but the minuses don't matter as long as at the end of the day I have more than what I started with. And that is the process of a risk manager. You aren't going to win them all. You can't. All right? So you need to accept these drawdowns. And if you accept the drawdowns, but you understand what you're doing, at the end of the day, if you're +1, you've done a good job that day. Don't worry about your losses. And that's the moral of this little story. So what is my job? Well, it is being a calculated risk manager and a builder. Except I don't build a building, I build money. That is it. That is my job. So we'll jump back on the screen and we'll see if we've actually built something today. Okay guys, so looks like long day part 2. Bloody hell. I genuinely thought this would drop today, and I'll show you for why, because I'm going to call it a night now. It has been sort of just meandering around. It hasn't done a great deal in this section here. All right. It's kind of ranging, if you like, and it's got up onto the top. So the theory being it's going to come down because this has gone up and it has failed to make new highs each time. But it also hasn't really retraced back either. You know, you can see here, but it hasn't come too deep down. All it did was it just came down, brushed the tops of these, went back, and looks like it's ready to come back down again. And the reason why I say that is, you can see it with this candle, for all the green, there's long tails, red, obviously down, long tail up, push back down, and the reds is now pushing it. So I do think, hopefully, this will close down tonight. I was expecting it throughout the day, and well, it hasn't happened. Well, that's the love of trading. You know, you put your sort of risks in where you think you're going to go. I mean, look how close that bloody thing got to it. And then it's come away. But trading's all about this, you know. And if you're in front of the screen, you can manage it and you can do what you're doing. And I wanted to manage it and I wanted to finish it so it was ready for you guys tonight. It's touching on 7:15 now, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close it down. I'll get it edited in the morning and get it up for you tomorrow. But the morning call that I pulled out worked incredibly well. But I was also having a little chat in the Facebook group. You're very welcome to come. Dead easy found, the Scruffy Trader. No selling in there. It's just the guys having a bit of a chit chat and listening to terrible music. You know, because I don't like these forums and groups where it's just pulling each other apart. I won't allow it. It should be in good humour. Pick each other up when you fall and learn something along the way so it's enjoyable. And that's how I look at life, and it's why you kind of see me clown around in a lot of my videos. Some people don't like it, which is fine. Just watch somebody else. I do this for pure enjoyment. That is it. You know, I've got no ulterior motives. You know, and why not? You know, we all need a hobby. But anyway, as I was talking in the group, you'll have seen a little wild card of an order, which was this one here, the US Swissy. And the reason being, there was a young chap in the group was humming and hawing about his position. And he asked for a bit of advice. And I looked at it and I thought, this is going up. And he wanted to know why. And I kind of explained my reasons as to why it was going to go up, which is that trade. However, just saying it's one thing. You have to back your claims up with goods, which is why I do a lot of live trades. I tell you what I'm going to do way before I make the trade. Then I wait for the trade to come into the situation that I want, you know, i.e. setups, key levels, momentum, all the things that I look for, and then I trade it, you know. But like the young lad, he wanted to see it, so I thought, right, okay, this is what I believe is going to happen. I traded it for him, just to show that it can be done. And the crux of it came from not looking at a single time frame. I looked at multiple time frames and came up with a theory as to what I thought was going to happen. And it paid me £81 for making the decision. Simple. So that's that. So I'm going to leave it there. I'll revisit this again in the morning. So much for a quick trade. I thought there's a quick day trade, which has turned into 2 to 3 days. And it's not holding on for the sake of holding on. It's because it is sitting in a range. It is sitting at the top of that range, which tells me a rollover could be imminent. If it breaks through, I was royally wrong, and I'm going to get a royal smack in the teeth. In fact, it'll smack me in the teeth that hard, it might even wipe out all the pips that I've done this week. But this is the way that I trade. I don't ask anybody to trade the way I do. I really don't. I just trade the way that I see it, you know, and I try to explain on the whiteboard a little bit of how I look at the markets, simply because I touched on it yesterday because it came in on a message on the phone, and I tried to explain it badly, so I revisited it today. And anyway, so my plan is to go downstairs, watch the next episode of Game of Thrones, because I was watching from the start. It's the bit where Tyrion's on trial, so it's a cracking episode, so I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to enjoy a beer, a good night, do it all again tomorrow. But that is pushing down. So I'm going to tighten these up so that they probably get me out, and then I can look at it tomorrow with a fresh screen, because my day trades, I like to be finished come 10 o'clock each night. Okay? So remember, guys, do what you love, money will follow. See you all in the next one.